Day 5, volume. So let's get our 3 volume formulas down in front of us. These are given to you on your green sheets. They're towards the bottom of your green sheet. So the first one we're going to start with is the cylinder. So there's our picture of the cylinder, and the volume is equal to pi r squared h. So pi r squared, that should look familiar to you. That's area formula for a circle times the height, because that's what a cylinder is. It's just a bunch of circles stacked up on top of one another to get the volume. Volume, what's inside the shape. Now the volume of the cone, okay, that's on your formula sheet as well. It's 1/3 pi r squared h. Again, that pi r squared is the area formula for a circle, and you can see that we go up by height, but we take 1/3 of that because, as you can see, we're not stacking the same size circles in that cone as we go towards the peak of it. And a sphere, that one is on your formula sheet as well, 4/3 pi r cubed. So let's go ahead and go to the next page and let's talk about some of these questions. So it says the volume of a cylinder that has a height of 30 and a radius of 4. Express your answer 2 ways. As an exact answer, that means in terms of pi, and then rounded to the nearest whole number. So I'm going to draw myself a cylinder here, and I'm certainly not the best artist. So we have a height of 30, a radius of 4. So my volume formula is pi r squared h for a cylinder. So pi r squared times 30. So our exact answer, when I go to my calculator, I'm not going to use the pi key. So when I come out with, I should come out with that the volume equals 480 pi. Now to the nearest whole number, I'm going to take 480 and use the pi key on the calculator, and to the nearest whole number, it's going to be 1508. And this is inches cubed. So volume is in cubic inches. Now this one says the volume of a cone whose height is 30 and whose radius is 4. Expressed as an exact answer. An exact answer, again, that means in terms of pi. It's just another way of saying it. So let's draw that cone, and my cone volume formula is 1/3 pi r squared h. And we know that the height of this cone is 30 and the radius is 4. So 1/3 pi r squared times 30. And an exact answer, so don't use the pi key. So we're going to go to our calculators and we're going to type in 4 squared times 30. And then we can divide that by 3. Okay, so I'm back. I had to pause there for a second. Somebody came into my room. So I'm going to say 16 times 30, and then I'm going to divide all of that by 3, or multiply by 1/3, and we are going to end up with 160 pi. And do they give us units in this one? Yep, it sure does. Inches cubed. Okay, so volume, cubic, inches. All right, one more. Volume of a sphere. Radius of 3, nearest 1,000. So I'm going to draw my really bad sphere. Radius of 3. I'm going to write down my formula. 4/3 pi r cubed. So volume equals 4/3 pi radius cubed. So you're going to use that exponent key on your calculator, and because it says to nearest thousandth, we got to use the pi key. All right, so I'm going to type that into my calculator while you guys are doing the same thing, and then we'll get an answer. All right. I think I came up with 113 point nearest thousandth. So tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So three places. 097 inches cubed. Okay? All right, let's go to the next page. I probably should have had this in the beginning, but that's okay. The volume, it's the amount of space inside, okay, a three-dimensional solid, measured in cubic units or units cubed. Okay. So here's an example how much rice will fit inside the jar. So you're going to write down the volume formula. So another example, so this one is a cylinder. Okay, I'm going to have you guys do this one, and then when you shut off the video, compare it with maybe your neighbor. Okay, so do that one. And let's see, do that one. Let's do exact. Okay, so meaning in terms of pi. Oh, this next one we haven't talked about, but this is a rectangular solid. So let's do this one. This one is one of those ones when you ask kids a formula, they spit this formula out even when it's not correct. Okay, so a rectangular solid, this is volume equals length times width times height. I think it just kind of rolls off the tongue quick, and people like to say that. So go ahead and do that calculation. That one's going to be pretty easy. And compare that one to your neighbor. And I think I'm going to come back and talk about these bad boys over here. Although, let me just look. Oh, yeah. You guys can absolutely do number 3. Okay, do that and compare with your neighbor. And you can do 4 and compare with your neighbor. Okay. Oh, yeah, this one's easy, too. Number 2 is easy. This one. Number 1's a little bit more difficult. But if, well, sorry about that. If you're up for the challenge, okay, to do number 1, okay, and you certainly can do it with each other, figure out how to do that one, but that one's a really cool problem, okay? So you, when you turn off the video, I want you to do number 2, 3, and 4, and then talk about it with your neighbor. Okay, do it. Don't just blow it off and then make your neighbor do all the work. That's not cool. Okay, and you're going to do these 2 on this page and compare with your neighbor. All right, we'll see you guys in class. Have a good one.